creative friends, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for visiting. Today we're working with the All About Me collection from Citrus Twist Kits. I am using digital papers and digital journaling cards, and then there are several physical embellishment packets in the shop that you can check out if you're interested. You can see some of them to the left. They are floral embellishment packet as well as some journaling bits and cut aparts. So to start off, this piece of paper that you see on that I'm using for my background started out as a 6 by 8.25 piece of paper. I could have used that piece of paper twice, but what I did in Photoshop Elements was stretch it out, and it gives me a little bit different look to my layout. So that is an option to try to create your own backgrounds and papers. Now with this layout, it started with the Hello Fall digital cut file. That's an exclusive cut file in the shop. I love fall. It's my favorite time of year, and I loved this cut file. I resized it, made it a little smaller to fit a Life Crafted layout so I could use it as my title. And I am just going to journal using one of the digital cards 10 things that I love about fall. I printed the card out. I could have typed my journaling on it, but I wanted to handwrite, and at the time that I printed, I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to say. I am now taking a combination of physical 3x4 cards from the basics line and some digital cards and using them as layering pieces. I just wanted some extra color, some variety to both my left and right side of the page, and by layering my 3x4 cards, I was able to do that. It's also a great way to use up 3x4 cards. I know I have a ton, and I'm sure I will have a ton no matter how many I use. They just seem to multiply. So I am just picking out some different colors. I've got this light orange one on the right. I have kind of a mustard color and blue on the left, and it just brings in extra color to where I need it. So I am also looking for the right colors and sentiments in the embellishments that I have in my trays here. I'm just pulling out anything that might work. I love this ticket that says Perfect Day. That's almost going to work as a subtitle to my larger title. I also found a banner die cut that was the exact same color as my title, so that's a great way to pull some of that darker copper orange over to the right side of the page. The florals in this collection are gorgeous. I love the shades of blue and kind of the, I guess I'm going to call it a dusty rose mauve colors. They're just stunning. I thought this bird was so cute. I try to place him as if he's perched on top of the word fall. And a little bit later when I'd hear him down, that's what I try to do with his feet, is make sure that he looks like he's perched right there. And I thought it was really cute. I usually like butterflies or those moths. It's usually more my style, but I thought this was a perfect way to use the bird. So again, I'm just playing around with a bunch of the different floral pieces. I want to make a kind of dynamic cluster, multiple clusters around. I pulled out these puffy stickers. They are from last year's fall release, and I think I got them at the end of the season, so I didn't use them. They're going to work great in my clusters because they're going to add some height. They're going to add a little bit different texture, but they still have the same color palette, and so they work really well. After playing around, moving things around, I finally get to the point where I need to make some decisions and start taping some things down. So I'm going to pop up my picture just to give it some interest and some height. I'm lining up the cards with the ticket, and then by using this foam, roll of foam, it's a 2-inch wide roll of foam, the sides of my pictures have areas where I can tuck things under. Now in this cluster, what I want to do is tuck the flower underneath the picture and have it flat against the paper, but then I want the leaf to be raised up just to give some variety to what the viewer's looking at. So let's see, what's my next step here? At this point I start journaling. So I pulled out a dark brown pen. I wanted something that was not black. I know I have a lighter brown, which I would have preferred more of a sepia color. I couldn't find it, but this dark brown works great. I knew the black would be very stark. There's no other black in this spread, and so I wanted something that was anything but black, basically. So this looks black in the video, but it's actually a dark brown, and it works great. I do a little bit of stamping in just a moment, and I also do another dark brown ink color, and it works really well and goes with all the oranges and more of the fall colors in this spread. So I finished my journaling before I adhered that journal card down, because at the time I didn't know if I was going to raise it up or leave it flat, and I didn't want any indentations from my writing. So for the stamping, there is a new stamp set in the shop, Storyteller version 2, All About Me. A lot of different sentiments relating to ourselves, our hobbies, our interests. This one just says top 10, and it was perfect for my journaling of the top 10 things I love about fall. What I'm doing there is I couldn't decide what color ink I wanted, and so I just very roughly cut out my sample stamping to see what color I wanted, and I picked a dark brown that was the same color as my journaling. Now I'm finishing up my layering. Right here, I'm playing with the title quite a bit. I feel like I want it raised up, like it would look good raised up. Initially, I decided not to do that because I'm just too lazy, and I did not want to back little foam pieces behind these very thin script. So initially I was like, I'm just going to leave it flat. It'll be fine. Well, the more I played with it, I was like, oh, I really think it'll look great if I pop it up. So I'm taking some very thin foam adhesive. I then even have to cut it in half because it was too thick. And I'm not going to back every single letter. I am just going to back almost every other. I'm going to have some spaces, and it ends up working fine. It didn't take as long as I was fearing it would. It was a little cumbersome at spots, but it ended up looking great at the end, and I'm so excited I took that extra step to do it. So I end up popping up this title, and then what I'll end up doing is when I have the little bird perched on the word fall, or on the L's of the word fall, I'll back him with some foam tape as well. So he will be at the same height as the title. So we're just finishing this up, and then we're going to take off our backing and adhere it down. Sometimes these little small pieces can be very hard to get the paper off. But I think just right there you can see some of the shadow behind the title, and I think that looks really well. I'm glad I did that. So now I'm finishing up with my clusters. I am going to have some pieces adhered flat to the paper, and some are going to be raised up. I then finish off my clusters with some of those puffy stickers to add some more variety to each cluster. So let's see, where am I going? I think I'm just looking at all the different pieces, see if there's anything I want to add. Now with this, I want to make sure that the leaf is at the same height as the picture, and since I'm using a different brand, I just kind of had to test that out. I like that it overlaps the picture but doesn't hide it. Love this blue acorn. I just thought it was so adorable, and I couldn't quite figure out initially where to put it, and this blue flower is stunning. I almost forgot to put this fall drink that I had to use. I just had to use it. So I took off my flower, moved it around. I love how that looks. The flower overlapped the hole a little bit, so I just was punching out the side there. So basically, we did a lot of layering in this video, layering of 3x4 cards behind the journal card and the photo for matting. Great way to use up your 3x4 cards. Also doing a lot of layering in my clusters just to give variety and color and interest to different areas of the page. If you have any questions about this, please leave me a comment below. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And I do hope to see you in the next video. Have a great crafting day.